Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Hey, before we get started with this
Shalom.
video, all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem,
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh
by
Shai, by Hashem Wakakadash.
double honor to our brothers of great brothers, truth, and to rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect of Israel out there, laboring on and believing in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Shah, gosh. Shalom to you, brothers and you sisters. You know, as you see the times we in, man, we see that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is visiting this world, man. You know, a lot of things happening throughout prophecy. You know, RFID chip. You know, the Maxine, which is the segue to the RFID chip. You know, the judgment going out. You know, full force. When you look down in Texas and pretty much all throughout the world, man, that we see how about Shah is doing work. You know, so it's even more time for for you brothers and your sisters that know this word. You know, continue to fight for righteousness. You know, because the Lord is coming back to redeem the righteous that's on this earth, which is the elect, man. So our job is to continue to come out here and push this word and help, keep everybody edified, man. You know?
Got a precept, bro.
Got it.
This is 2nd Ezra 9, verse 1.
That's
Says,
spirit.
He answered me, then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
That's right.
Therefore,
So
right?
God is visiting. You know? That's how we redeeming the times, man. You got it, bro. You have something.
It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? And we definitely been seeing that for the past, want to say, decade or so, that earthquakes have been on a very high level, you know, and uproars of the people are just, it's like a snowballing effect. Everything is just happening more and more and more and more and more and more frequent, you know. And it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Man. So all these things were prophesied from the beginning. Man. These weren't things that were things that are just happening for no reason. These were already prophesied by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And they're just starting to play out in the physical now. Okay? These people don't understand what's going on because the spirit is not with them. But we understand because the Most High has revealed it to us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see? So now we're able to tell them and warn them of these things that happen that are going to happen before it happens. Right? You know, like we've been talking, the apostles been talking about. The apostles been talking about lockdowns, martial law. How long the apostle Tahar and the apostle Gabar and the rest of the apostles been talking about martial law? Now we see what the plan was that they have set up. Now we see what they're trying to do. Okay.
I appreciate
that. Bro, any brothers? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Good. Romans 14:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope."
Right, and that's what it was written for, so that the elect might have hope, man. The scriptures weren't written for no regular factory worker, you know what I'm saying, or no lawyer. You know, it was written for the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for these times. That's why all of us brothers, we have our own story, but what did our stories all lead to at the end of the day? It led to the scriptures. It led to the true understanding of the scriptures, man. You see? Because what is it saying? Matter of fact, I'll get it in Isaiah 30 and 20, man. All right. Brothers got anything else? Go ahead. Roll.
This is the book of Isaiah 46 and 8. It says, "Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors." And the scripture said in the book of Thessalonians, "Be not troubled in word and in prophecy." because what's going on right now is based on the one power Yahweh Shem Shai. So we're not to be troubled. As the scriptures say, gird up your loins like a man. It says, remember this and show yourselves men, bring it again to mind of all ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. All right, so he's going to do all his will. And what's going on throughout the states right now with that storm, yo, you can't be against, are you, as the scripture said, are you against the Most High's pleasure? All right? This is his will, man, so let it be. All right? This is an opportune time to repent, because what's going on right now is the Heavenly Father is declaring, executing a judgment on America, man. Go with that.
I had another one real quick. Yeah, it had no. This Isaiah 46:10. It says, declaring that from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
That's a spirit. Done. Yeah.
The Most High's counsel will stand, man. Not man's counsel. You see? So whatever creepy Joe is planning in his mind, or whatever the elites are planning in their mind, the Most High has the actual blueprint of what's getting ready to happen, man. The elites know that, but they're trying to actually offset prophecy, man. Not knowing that they're falling right into the hands of the Most High's plans anyway. You see? So, the thing, like the brother mentioned, Brother Ward mentioned, dealing with the winter and the snow in Texas and stuff like that. Those things were not seen before, man. They never had no thing like that, as far as I know. I don't think Texas has ever had anything like that.
Not that bad.
No.
So that's why that whole thing happened with them, because the states up here up north, their pipes are elevated to prepare for that cold weather. That's what they're used to. But down here, where I'm at, North Carolina, and on down, we're not used to having below freezing weather, man. That's why when people down there in Texas, their houses are pretty much, the pipes are bursting because they're not used to that. That the pipes aren't meant for below freezing weather.
Right. And the elder Ariella did a beautiful lesson earlier, and that's exactly what it is. At the end of the day, Texas, they don't like Texas. Why don't they like Texas? Because it's sovereign, man. They're trying to get rid of that whole sovereign thing. You see? So they're pushing it like, they're rebellious. See, they're rebellious. They wanted to secede. They wanted to separate themselves. And now look, they put everybody at risk. You understand? And the reason they did that is to have the option of basically enterprise, where people can have a choice between electrical companies, so to speak, right? But see, here in Canada, we don't have that. We have Hydro. In Quebec, we have Hydro Quebec. Okay, we got a centralized. Same thing there, right? Centralized. Right. So it's all based on the province. So you can't. There's no competition. So they put the price at whatever they want to put it to, make the prices skyrocket. People always complain about it, but there's nothing they can do, because that's what the elites want. They want total control, man. All right. If you brothers have anything great, I'm just gonna get Psalm 64.
You got it.
Okay. This is
I can see the screens. No, it's good now.
This is Psalm 64, and I'm starting at verse 1. It says, hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Okay? And at the end of the day, the words that they speak it's all tied into that agenda. You know, that's why when you listen to different news reels, they all have the same verbiage, man. The same type of words they use. Oh, it's a dark winters. It's a, you know, it's the reset. It's the, you know, the build back better, whatever type of nonsense they talk. It's always the same spiel, and they use it throughout all these media outlets, which shows you that they control the media, man.
Well, the media goes back to God, the deception, the name media. So this is just a bunch of witchcraft, which goes into Nahum.
See through the rhetoric that they're clearly pushing the agenda, because you just look at history now. You talk about the Maxine, for example. When in history have they ever pushed this hard for a Maxine? You know, and then we spoke about what they're doing in Texas, man, because this whole pandemic or pandemic, you know, was put in play so they could destroy the economy, get everybody ready for this new world order. They went away with the old way of life. That's why you hear, you know, Creepy Joe, when he made his press conference, you hear him talking about that new way of life, man. You know, and slowly you're starting to see everybody starting to talk about that, man. But this is the whole plan of the elites, man.
Just want to say, before the pandemic or plandemic, there was just major rioting in China.
Yep.
and throughout the world. And what these elites need to do was they need to bring everything under control, you know, to quench that fire, you know, to assuage that fire. So what they did was, you know, put out this whole pandemic, and now you got things on, you know, on lockdown, man, draconian laws. It's crazy, but this is prophecy, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll read this for you. I'll read this for you, you brothers. Whoever wants to break it down can just jump in. I'll just finish this off. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. The commune of lame snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
Yeah, the heart is deep, because when you go into that word deep, it means it's infinite. Esau is forever thinking of more ways to push his wickedness, man. You spoke about the media. You go into their science. You go into their religion. Everything that this devil does is the further push, you know, the oppression of the Israelites, but then the forego his wickedness all throughout the world, man. So this devil, you know, they've had this plan pretty much since the inception of the Illuminati. I believe that's what 1776, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
So they've had this in the works for the longest, man, because these elites know prophecy, man. You know, they know the words of this book that we're speaking is true. That's why they're going so hard to try to stop this word from going out, because they know that people are waking up to their wickedness, man. You know?
Scripture said there was in Daniel, right?
Exactly.
So
I had a precept by having
Yeah.
Isaiah 26:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, that their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? It says, surely the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Or shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? So this devil, you know, he is pretty much through his different plans and policies, and turn the world down, man. And it's gonna come into full fruition when he establishes his new world order, which is gonna be a whole system under Satanism, man. You know, worshiping of Satan. So his whole MO is to do this to mainly destroy the Israelites, because 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're all for Esau's system. Esau knows
Right.
with that temple that he's looking to destroy. So instead of actual building, he knows through the scriptures that it's the people. That's why he's went so hard to systematically destroy us, man, all the way down to an atomic level.
community vaccination, that's what they want to do. You know, I got a precept. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and 5. It says, "Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. When what is
That's
going
what Esau
into
always does.
go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
go ahead, bro.
You can edify.
You
Okay.
got it.
Okay, so what this is going into is the one is philosophy. Right now they got the Maxine, they got all types of psychological operations on your mind, and that's that's a spiritual warfare that you got to fight. It says the one is what's making people drunk. You know, they don't know what the hell's going on. All right, they're panicking. Oh, COVID or storm. Global warming. You know, it says when the scriptures say the earth abideth forever, man. All right, so you gotta get into the scriptures, man. It says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, and this goes into as you mentioned, the new world order. It says, and he cannot be satisfied, but gathers unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. You know, so that's evil, man.
Right.
That's what Esau always does, right? Every time Esau got to power, he always tried to gather other people to follow under his way of life. You know, even as the Greeks, the Romans, always did the same nonsense. You know, but guess what? This is the last time he's going to be able to attempt that, man, and to defile the woman of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. All right, this is Job 5 in verse. Hope you're trying to get that. This is Job 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. You know, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So they think they're going to be crafty, but everything that they're planning on doing, they think they're so smart. You know, the Most High is going to have them fall. You see, he's going to have them fall into their own trap, and it's going to end up being a snare unto themselves, man. Okay? You know, those nuclear missiles, right? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was agreeing with you, but I had a preset whenever you was finished.
Calm down.
All right, this Psalms 10 and 2.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in devices that they have imagined.
That's it. Let them be taken in devices that they have imagined. They've imagined to create the nuclear missile. And what's going to take them out? The nuclear missile, man. That's poetic justice, man. All right? Because the Most High said, listen, I'm going to give you a blessing, and you're so demonic that you're going to destroy yourself with your own blessing. Right?
I'll never. Keep going, man.
No, go ahead, bro.
I never forget what Oppenheimer said when they were able to drop the bomb. He said he went into how he mentioned an Indian god, a Persian god, and he said, "I've become the destroyer of worlds," which I'm like, wow, this guy's like straight up like speaking like he's a god, you know? So it's prophecy, man. These people are most sides set them up, man. As you mentioned, I believe last time, just like Egypt, man, set them up for the fall, man. You know?
That's right. He in the ultimate trick bag, like the elders like to say, man. I got to the preset real quick. It's Romans 9 and 17. Going back on what you just said. You can break it down. It says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. You know,
as the scriptures say, man, that man's goings of the Lord, how can a man understand his own way? Right? So what's going on right now is the Most High set up, as he's reading, all right, it mentions Pharaoh, and modern day Pharaoh would be the leader of America. All right, the word Pharaoh goes up also into the word czar or king. All right, the king of America is the president of the United States, all right, your Biden, which the name Biden goes back into button. You know, so I don't Ratazah, man. This is it. I don't Ratazah. Go ahead, Ak.
Another select. I just want to add on to that about Biden's name, right? I remember I always go back to this lesson that I did dealing with his family crest, man. His family crest is devils, man. It's devil horns, man. That shows you this man is the devil, man. His family crest is devil horns. What more you think?
Right there.
You know?
I didn't even know that.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Verse 18.
Yeah, bro. Look it up.
Kind of, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he harden. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will?
As again, it explains it if you keep going.
I got you. It says, but oh man, who art thou against the Most High? Shall the thing frame, shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me dust? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another to dishonor? What if Abashim Yahushua willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
That's self-explanatory. You can't break it down any more sweeter than that, man.
Hey, scripture speak for themselves.
God. And that's to me. There are no words, man.
Brothers, check it. This is Biden's. This is Biden's family crest.
Oh,
see the devil horns on it?
Horns. Good. I got a precept here.
It even looks like a tail too.
I must need to read this. This is Book of Psalms 109 and 1. It says, "Hold not thy peace, O power of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They are spoken against me with a lying tongue." And you see all these databases and algorithms that they put up on the media saying, "Oh, that's hate speech, brothers." Channels again taken down when they're literally bringing out facts. You can even use a fact checker and they'd still agree with you, but still terminate your channel. It says, "It compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause." It says, "For my love," and the scriptures say, "live peaceably with all men." So we're not out here to physically fight Esau, right? As the scriptures say, "Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." But at the same time, we're still upon the Southern Poverty Law. We're labeled as a so-called terrorist group, man. It says, "They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. For my love they are my adversary, Esau, Edom. But I gave myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love." Here's a point. "Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand." And what you're seeing right now in America is a worship of Satan, man. Baphometism. All right, and they're going to literally move the Bible out the way, man. That's what they're going to want to do. They did this during World War II. So the son of perdition, being revealed, man. I
just got that. I just looked at that.
Fire.
Fire.
It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
Yeah, Esau, Edom. He's the son of perdition, which in word perdition means destruction. He's about to be destroyed, and he brought so much destruction with him. All right. Yeah.
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
That's what this is all about. It's about total control, man. That's what communism is all about, man. It's total control, man. You see? So wherever you go, you got to be monitored, you got to be watched. And if you misbehave, then they'll take away points from you. You can't take the train no more. You can't have basic human rights, so to speak. Right? All in the name of saving people from C-19. See how Esau moves? Esau likes to come, come as a serpent, man. He doesn't come straight up. He likes to play those games, and like it says, his words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, man. But
remember that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, and he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him,
right, and that's what Esau doesn't want. He doesn't want to happen. He doesn't want to be revealed. That's what he's trying to stop. That's why he doesn't like the Israelites, man. That's why the truth has to be stopped, because the wicked is being revealed, and he knows that once he's revealed, the prophecy is that he's going to have to go down. You see? So yeah, Khan. That was it on that.
It's two more verses. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Yeah, I got something you can break down. I'm one. This is Isaiah 30, Isaiah 32 and verse 6. It says, "For the vile person will." It's like verse 5. It says, "The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter."
Yeah,
to hunt.
That's Esau. Esau was that vile person, because Esau operates. Everything Esau does is adverse to the scriptures, man. That's why he's known as Satan. And when you go into Satan in the Hebrew, it goes back to Shaitan, which means adversary. So Esau is adverse to righteousness. So everything he does, he blatantly is like throwing the middle finger up to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. And
right.
The ultimate way of him doing that is by, causing the Lord's people, the Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, to sin against him, man. That's why this whole society is set up to make you go off, so that he can go back to the Most High, and pretty much accuse us to him, refer to him as the accuser of our brother.
Right. It says to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail, man. Listen, man. Hold on, what's happening in Texas, man? They're cutting off the people's electricity. Okay, the water is like $19 for 18 bottles of water. You see, what's going on with that? That's causing the drink of the thirsty to fail. Because a lot of them niggas ain't gonna be able to buy no water, man. You see, the baby's gonna want milk, but they're gonna be feeding that baby water, man, with some crystal, the crystals powder that you put in the water to give it some flavor, because they ain't gonna have no damn milk, man. You see,
it's like the word noble in the Hebrew, it's like I think my computer's freezing, but is nadayab, which means, it says noble, princely, noble, generous, and as soon as I read generous, considering Bill Gates and his father, what I did a month back was I looked up his name, William Gates Sr., and his name goes back to a monarchical line. So meaning his lineage goes back to monarchs.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law believed that he was a self-made millionaire. I'm like, hell no. What? His father's name was Senior and he's Junior. His lineage goes back to Amalek lineage, literally.
Yeah.
All right, and it's out there, you know. So as you read that scripture, man, no more be called liberal because he's claiming to be this generous philanthropist out to save the world. Sirach 12 and 10, right?
Yep.
But he's literally, yo, you can't trust this devil, man.
But the I believe I forgot which apostle brought it out, but they say he's like a distant cousin to either the Rockefeller or the Rothschild. I don't remember which family, but I know it's between them two.
Yeah, I believe it's the Rothschilds. Yeah, he's like the great grandson.
Right.
I looked that up at one point. Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, his grandfather took part in Planned Parenthood. His grandfather was part of
his father. With Margaret Sanger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's the heavy believer.
So that's shows.
I got a precept. This book, Exodus chapter 17 and 14. And the Lord said to Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I'll utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nasi, for he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Right? So that Amalek goes back to the nation of Edom, which goes back to the sons of perdition. All right, and your beloved Gates, all right, is one of them, man.
Yep.
You know.
And Amalek has the most hatred for you, Jakes, man. I don't care how Amalek acts and how friendly or he likes hip hop. He's and all this. Oh yeah, Nas is my favorite rapper. Amalek is the most hateful group amongst the Edomites, man. All right, those guys. First of all, Haman. Who was Haman's father, man? Which Haman was what? The enemy of the Jews. His father was an Agagite king.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the Agagite kings, man? The Agagite kings were Amalekites, right? Which the word Agag or Agagite really means king. It's like saying Caesar or like saying Czar. Okay? But those were the kings amongst the Amalekites. And his lineage actually went back to what? Macedonia. Which shows you that the Macedonians were Amalekites. Which shows you that Alexander the Great is an Amalekite, man. You see, when we put the puzzle together, Esau can't hide, man.
Yeah.
That's why Scripture says what? That the wicked is the son of perdition is being revealed, man.
Right. That's right. Because it all you gotta think about it when it comes to this. That's why they want to try to make the Bible sound like a bunch of fairy tales and whatnot, man. Because the Bible goes down family tree lines, man. They go when you start tracing, where the seed line goes back to. And you can understand, what the source of this hate comes from. Because, in the world, black and white or whatever, but you don't understand that it's deeper than just a color thing, man. It's a bloodline that goes all the way back to Esau and Jacob, man.
True.
Esau made a covenant within himself. And matter of fact, I'll get it real quick. If you ain't have done, brother, you have some. You go ahead.
Like you mentioned, lineage. It's all about lineage. And Gates and DuPonts and Gettys, they know it's all about lineage.
Right.
You, Jake's like, oh no, man, you could learn a lot from the wicked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, knowledge isn't just STEM, just on righteousness. Hey, we're in the position. The reason why we're in this position right now is for the Lord to let us to learn the ways of wickedness, so that we get in the kingdom and become those righteous judges. We're gonna have a zero tolerance for wickedness in that day, man. We're gonna judge this whole earth. So this is why we have to go through these things so that we can learn wickedness, man. That's what happened when it tells you that that Adam and Eve, they pretty much they when they found out they was naked, they learned the ways of wickedness, man. But the precept I had was Genesis 27 and 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And ever since he said this right here, man, it's always been from that point on, ever since Isaac died, that he set out to kill Jacob, man. This goes back to Cain and Abel, man. The spirit of Cain went back to Esau, and the spirit of Abel, that's us, man. Because Abel was the first of the line of the righteous, man. You know, so as we've been saying, this seed line thing is heavy, man, because it all has a source, man, and that's what Esau doesn't want people to connect the lines. They take them back to the source, man.
Right. I got a precept. This book Obadiah chapter. I'll jump around chapter 1 and 6, or only one chapter, anyways. It says how are the things of Esau searched out, and how are his hidden things sought out. Jumping down to 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. Go ahead, you guys edify on that.
That was as one. That was Esau, man. So Esau was always an enemy, man, to the Israelites, man. He was never a friend. He always broke the brotherly covenant. You see, even when Esau next to you show Esau love, what does he do? He does the same thing he did to the Gadite scouts, man. He put them right in that van along with the rest of the Gadites, man. Because he doesn't care about you, man. You're a threat. Really, you're a threat to Esau. When Esau sees you, he sees an actual threat, man. Okay.
The whole of him doing this is they want the birthright back, man. Because when you hear people talk about Esau and Jacob, you always hear Edomite talk about Jacob tricked Esau at the birthright. It was Esau and but the scripture had it go there because that was the Lord's plan from the beginning. So it was who was wrong or right. Yahweh Shem Yahweh sanctioned that event to happen that way so that Jacob could get the birthright, man. No? So that when you go back to Romans 9, matter of fact, I'll get that real quick if you don't mind. Chapter 9, verse I started verse 5. It says, whose are the fathers? In fact, I started 6. Like it says, not as though the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not Israel, which are of Israel. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall all thy seed be called. Which that right there is a cut for them trying to use the whole, well, we're all sons of Abraham, because it goes back to the seed line we've been talking about, man. It was the righteous seed line that the Lord has always dealt with, going all the way back to Abel, man. So it says, but in Isaac that seed be called, man, right? Because out of Isaac came two children, Esau and Jacob just to be the chosen. It says, this is the day which are children of the flesh, because the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither have done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh Shem according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
That's what Esau's been trying to fight. He doesn't want to. Destiny, man. It says, it's your destiny, man. You can't fight it. You know.
And it's funny you said destiny, because this whole time you learn in history from school, you saw all the teachers about manifest destiny. Not how they say they got America and parts of the world through manifest destiny. So when we get into destiny, it's the destiny from the Lord that you are to be power, and then eventually after your 1,000 years of captivity is up, to be eradicated out the earth, to where Edomite seed line will cease to exist, man. That's destiny. But it says, so what shall we then say? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua forbid. So is the Lord wrong by having the story written this way? No, because it's the will of the Lord, man. Right?
Good.
You know, that was pretty much the point.
As you mentioned, it's all about the birthright. So I'll read this, just a quick scripture here. This book of Psalms 120, because as we went into it, Esau's always had a perpetual hatred for us. It says Psalms 120 and 6. It says, "My soul hath long dwelt with him that hated peace." All right, in between Jacob and Esau, Esau's always been, as the scriptures say, man, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. So that means that the people of Amalek are going to war with the Most High's people. All right, because we're the Lord's portion. All right, Jacob, that's the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. It says, "I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war." All right, so as long as we're bringing out this truth, man, they're gonna bring forth legislation, laws. All right, and as the scriptures say, man, in the book about Second Ezra, they shall be like madmen, fearing none. All right, but still spoiling those that fear the Lord. You know, what Shamar?
No. Bro. I was just agreeing with you, right?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, I appreciate about that.
Man.
Because you go in there, that Esau is going to forever come from the Israelites, mainly of the elect, because we're the ones bringing out his true destiny, man, prophecy of his downfall, and he wants the world to believe he is the Most High, and he's never going to go out of power. So us, bringing this information out about him through the Bible is throwing a monkey wrench in his plan. That's why he just wants everybody just to bow down and accept the new order he's bringing. But the elect, we're not bound down to him. We understand through prophecy and promise, through the covenant that the Most High made and that I passed down all the way to us, that we are going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. That's the last kingdom that's going to be on the earth, not this damn new world order where all type of confusion and weirdness is going to be going on, man. Because it's not according to what the Bible is speaking of, no.
Right. Well, that's because, Salaki, bro.
Sorry, go ahead, bro.
But that's because the elect is not defiled, man. The elect has no guile in their mouth. So there's no way that the elect is going to allow Esau to put something in there, or the Most High is going to allow Esau to put something in the elect to actually permanently defile it, because that's what the chip is. That's going to make you a perpetual abomination. You're going to be a walking, talking abomination with a microchip in you, man, which is just an idol, man. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can't say, "Oh, I don't worship idols." You got an idol inside of you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
If you don't bow down to that idol, which is you taking that jab and that Russian it's gonna cut you off. That's proving to you that he's gonna make this, and that's going to show you that, like you said, he wants to do that. Because ultimately, if you take that jab, man, you are gonna have a beat on you, because that jab Esau has the luciferates in it, which is gonna cut off your God gene, man. It's gonna your connection with the Most High, man. And it's funny because when they was going into that at the little that scientist was breaking it down, man, he said the people that have that most connection is so-called Latino Native American. Now, what's the coincidence that the main ones that they want to take the jab, man? Showing you that it's an agenda, man.
Okay.
But into that,
a lot of these niggas ain't got no more God gene in them anyway, man. A lot of these niggas pineal gland is flipping fried, man.
God gene.
The pineal gland is calcified, man. Through eating pork, drinking the fluorinated water and all that. So you're right. They pineal gland is through. That's why these niggas is so low level, man. They vibration so low level that they couldn't connect with the Most High if they wanted to.
Right.
I'm going to show you something. This is Psalm 2:10. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man, let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grave, heirs of the why Esau was on full out assault mode on the whole nation of Israel, man, to where hey, nobody's safe, man. You know, it says,
Right.
"Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." Right. That's why Esau is going ahead with these draconian, laws, pretty much pushing his standard. If you don't, you don't want to lay down with him, right, you're going to be asked out. And him doing this started with the Maxine. It started with the mask. How they come with the mask? They say, look, the mask going to be optional. You ain't got to wear it. And it went to you have to wear it, otherwise you ain't going to be able to go into certain establishments. And it's eventually going to translate to that Maxine, to where you're not going to be able to do nothing by the Maxine, and it's going to ultimately finish off with the chip, man.
Okay. You mentioned that which is feeble has nothing worth, is nothing worth. Who are feeble right now? The people whom they're targeting, the elderly, and they're dropping dead like flies. They don't even want to mention the numbers, man. You know?
Yeah. So hey, he's gonna make everybody feeble, because once he establishes the Draco laws, man. If you're not abiding to what he's doing, then you ain't gonna have nothing. He gonna cut you off from everything. So in that day, he's gonna make everybody feeble, man. You know? It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending of the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. So the elect are calling out everything that this man is doing that goes with about Shem Shot. And because of that, we're going to be, vilified for that, man. They're going to come. They're going to come for us, man. And it's going to start with the word.
Read that again, brother. Baba Kusha.
Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. Therefore, let us lie and wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraids us with our offending the law, and objectives to our infamy, the transgression of our education.
Right. So the way the wicked thinks, man, the wicked looks at the righteous as the wicked. All right. Ultimately, the wicked looks at the righteous as the wicked. You see, when you're thinking, correctly according to the scriptures, and you're seeking the old path according to what Yahweh Shem Yahushua has in place, they look at you as being evil, as being old fashioned, as being something negative. You see, but really their way of life going into the new normal, quote unquote, is really negative. Okay, especially for the people. For them, they have a plan. For the people, it's really just perpetual slavery with no rights. Okay, I have a precept for that. It says, this is Isaiah 59:15. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment, man. So what do? We depart from evil, and now we're a prey, man. We're a prey to Satan, the spiritual demon. We're a prey to Satan's children, which are you Edomites.
Right.
Okay. So that's it, man. And that's why Esau doesn't like somebody coming out doing what we're doing. They can't disprove what we're saying. When we say we want clean water, we want clean air, we want children to be safe from pedophiles. He can't disprove it, but he doesn't like it because he knows that him himself is wicked. Exactly. Just like what the brother was reading. All right.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
That's why Esau is so, he's so, hard trying to get the prophet thing, because when you go back into, history, Esau had no problem with Jake, trying to pick up guns and try to fight against him carnally, because they knew at that point, man, hey, they can't do shit to us, man. They don't have the guns that we got. They don't have the technology that we got. They don't know the type of war tactics that we got to take them down. But when we come at them with this word, man, they have no counter or no defense to try to block this, man. So this is why they're hurting so bad, man.
Yep. Yep, that's it. That's it, bro. That's like I don't know, bro. If you brothers watch Ball Z growing up, man, when Goku came against the Ryu crew, right? And they didn't know what the hell was happening. He was just standing there. They couldn't even touch him, you know. So and then he just hit him with hits and they didn't know what was happening, man. You see, that's what's happening in the spirit. Now, when we read these scriptures, there's this one individual who came up. I mean, he wasn't. He could have been an Edomite, but you know, he was so-called Brazilian, man. But he just loved Cesare Borgia, man, with all his heart, man. You know, he loved Jesus the Christ with all his heart. You know, so bro, he got the worst cutting session I've had in a long time, man. He got destroyed by the Spirit. You understand? Through the Spirit, he got mangled, man. I mean, it had to be like 30 scriptures that came out on him, bro. And this guy was just sitting there silent with I love Jesus sign, whatever it said on the sign. You know? Because they have no defense for this, man. This word is too powerful for what they have in their arsenal, man. You know?
Yeah. I got a precept. This is book Isaiah 29 and 18. It says, "And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness." That would represent the men the Lord in these last days waking up, man. It says, "The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel." It says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorn is consumed, and all that which watch for iniquity are cut off." Verse 21, "That maketh a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate." That's the man of the Lord on the highways and the byways, man.
Right.
"And turn aside the just for a thing of naught." All right?
Make ourselves a prey, you know? And that's why when we're out on the highways and the byways, and I noticed this through the Spirit, you know, I'm sure you brothers noticed this, that those people who were so-called Jesus freaks, people don't bother them. People come up, take pictures, and put their arms around them, hey, you know, throw up the thumbs up, you know. But when it comes to us, man, they got spirits that come there, man, start bugging out, start talking gibberish, you know, trying to disrupt what's going on. It's spiritual, man. That's like when Yahweh Shai was passing, them demons would get roused up, man.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. That was son of, you know, the Yahweh Shai of Nazareth. You know? They would get roused up. But you know what happens is that they feel that power, man. They feel the power coming from the words of Yahweh Shai coming through his name. They don't, you know what? They don't think they'd be approaching IUIC like that. They don't be approaching IUIC like that. They don't be approaching ICPK because they don't got the spirit.
Ah, man, and they prescribing to stuff of the world, man. You know, the reason why we get singled out, you know, because I know I'm pretty sure y'all brothers see the Matrix, man. You know, we're like a glitch in the Matrix that's pretty much exposing, you know, something's up with this place, man. You know, that's why Agent Smith, you know, trying to snuff us out, man. You know.
That's it.
What the brother said, you know, about the you know, that we're pretty much that light and that security, man. We're giving our people vision, you know, some type of hope. This is Isaiah 60:1. "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." And as we know, God is that light, you know. So he's giving light, you know, to the members of the elect that we're able to see through this darkness that Esau has cast throughout all the world and understand the truth, you know. So we know the full scale, pretty much we know the whole story.
Right. Fine. So, you know what I'm saying? If you brothers got anything else, yeah, you know, gotta kind of run still. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? We got it in through the spirit, you know what I mean? If anything, Lord's will, we can pop back up tomorrow and get it in again. You see? Right. So, you know, that, give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, B'chakra. Dash, double last to the apostle and elders. The Millstone salutation. Much love to you brothers out there pushing this word out, truth and sincerity. Man. Keep fighting, man. We're almost out of here. Shalom.
Shalom. See? Shalom, my king.